You guys want to know what the top DxO score and phone
Right
is
now?
right now?
176.
Are we? I'm guessing like
I'm guessing
137.
The OnePlus.
The number 3.
Okay.
There's a tie for second. So the number 4 is the iPhone 16 Pro Max with a 157.
Jeez.
Wow.
Then there's a tie for second between the Honor Magic 6 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL.
No way.
158.
Oh, bull. Those have bad cameras, dude. That's a cool looking phone.
163. That's the number 1 score.
Damn.
Right now. Hey, what is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marquez.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
And we actually do have a lot of stuff back this week. Sora has officially launched, and we took an exclusive first look at it. We'll talk a little more about that in a second. Galaxy S25 rumors are catching our attention. We have some rapid-fire end-of-the-year brief reviews on some phones that didn't get full videos. And also, fun fact, Gemini 2.0 literally just got announced like 10 minutes before we jumped in here. So we haven't actually gotten to test or try it, but it's a thing that happened. That's some news that you should know about, Gemini 2.0. It's an experimental version. It's cool. But first, I wanted to start with a thought exercise. I put this in the Slack because I was very curious to hear what all of you guys would say about this, including Zuri, who's sleeping in the corner. It's a tweet that reads, you received a wedding invitation that specifically said on the dress code line, no Apple Watches, please. How does that make you feel? Because there's lots of takes about this now. Oh, Apple Watches don't dress up well. Oh, I would just wear an Apple Watch anywhere. Where are you on the spectrum of I'm going to a wedding that's no Apple Watches allowed? How does that make you feel?
It makes a lot of people feel something because it has 9.1 million views on this tweet.
It does.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
First of all,
I just want to hear what you say so that I can say the opposite.
if I'm going to a wedding and they asked it, I would take the Apple
Yeah.
Watch. Like I'm the least like not argumentative or like least conflicty person
You're not
possible.
that attached to the Apple
So
Watch.
I'm not
your
trying to
Sure.
It's their day.
Yeah, it's their day. They're the one paying a ton of money for it. If they ask me to not wear the Apple Watch.
I'm just trying to figure out why.
Well, okay. If I was in the middle of a like workout competition, I would be devastated because dance floor weddings racks up the rings on that
true.
fitness app.
Yeah.
That
true.
you'd severely have to make up a lot for that or just lose the day. So that would be a huge bummer. I agree. They don't dress up very nice.
I don't know about
Which is
that.
fine.
I feel like
I
some
don't
of them
think they
do.
I think if you throw
Ultra looks
like a
nice.
metal link watch band on a dark colored watch and throw a nice like watch face on, like one of those simple watch faces, that looks fine. That's pretty classy. I imagine it's a pictures thing. They're taking pictures at the wedding and they don't want pictures of Apple Watch.
I guess that's the distinction. Is this, or if you're in the bridal party, you definitely just listen because you know them well enough.
Sure, yeah.
Just listen to
I
them.
assume this is a general wedding invitation. Like you're just going, you're invited.
I have a take.
Okay.
Okay. My take is that things that can become dated, people often don't want in their content. And I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Like I heard a song the other day that was like, there's more to life than retweets on your Twitter. It's not called Twitter anymore. Now you're like dating yourself, right? It's not this omniscient thing. Watches have existed for an extremely long time. Watches, you could make the argument, are more of a concept than are a thing. And the more simple that you make your watch, the more timeless it is. So when you have that Apple Watch Gen 1 and you're really dating yourself, which is, fine. But I think that a lot of people don't want to put themselves in a space where things could be potentially dated.
I fully agree with everything you're saying. And my argument to the couple who is saying that would be everything else in your wedding is going to get dated too. It's just
Fair enough.
a snapshot in time. And it helps you better remember the time that it was. Your haircut will be outdated. Your suit will be outdated.
True.
All the cars in the background that you drive away in will be outdated. The watch is just a part of the times.
Yeah.
That's all.
I agree with
time.
you.
The time. Yeah, time.
I will say it would be smart to like turn your watch on Do Not Disturb or something during
Turn
the
the
wedding.
screen off, theater mode.
Or that, so that you could really experience the time,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll do whatever the hell they want. One time I bought dress shoes for a wedding.
Yeah.
Well, only
No way.
it was
What have you worn to every other wedding?
my sneakers. Can I tell you a story?
That's actually.
I got yelled at by my roommate at one point. Actually, it was Michael Fisher. So I was going to my sister's wedding, right?
Your sister's wedding.
My sister's wedding.
Pretty big deal.
And Michael Fisher was like, well, I had just bought my first suit ever, which I wore to like 30 weddings, and then I tore them in half by accident. I was dancing really intensely.
Good.
But,
Yeah.
Good
rings.
Thank you. It did happen.
By accident.
I tried to own it. Too many children and old ladies were staring at me, so I went and changed my pants. Okay, but so he's like, well, what about your shoes? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you have to get dress shoes. And I was like, no.
Yes.
I'm not buying dress shoes for a wedding. I'm going to wear them once. And he was like, you got to do it. I didn't do it. I went to my sister's wedding, stayed at a motel with my parents. And in the morning, my dad puts on his flip-flops. And my dad and my mom put on her sneakers. And I go, oh, so you're not wearing dress shoes? And my dad goes, why would I buy dress shoes for a wedding? And I was like, okay.
There it is.
You as
I
a
see where
person
this
make
goes.
so much more sense to me now.
Yeah.
Can I give my Apple Watch at the wedding take?
Yeah,
yeah.
please.
I think so. The 5 of us in this room, right? We're into tech. We've been into tech for some time. Our brains have been slowly turned to mush over the last 10 years by being in this industry. For those whose brains are still intact, which still have wrinkles in them, I can understand not seeing your Apple Watch or any smartwatch as being fundamentally different from your phone. And I could see it just feeling like you have your phone out the entire wedding. Even though we don't see it that way. We see it as like a separate product category with separate use cases. You use it in a different way. I understand, and I have lots of friends that even if I go out to a bar with them and they see an email flash on my Apple Watch, they're like kind of offended. They're like,
Yeah.
why do you really need to have your email on your wrist like we're hanging out? And it's like, there's a part of me that's like, come on. But there's another part of me that's like, yeah, you're kind of right about that one. So maybe just put it in theater mode. I don't know.
I could also see in the sense of like, all of us here know how to silence our Apple Watches, but they're so popular that a lot of people who are not technologically advanced wear them. And like the worst thing is just mid ceremony, like ding, ding. And like there's
That's
always
what I thought it was.
So like at this point, I would rather just blanket statement be like, please just don't
No
wear
smartwatch.
it. Cause like that's like, I've officiated 2 weddings and I always had to make in the beginning, like, put your phones away. Everyone, there is a photographer here. Like they know how to do it. And every single time there's always somebody with a phone out. It's just
Pro tip, because I just officiated a wedding, give them 2 minutes right up top to take all the pictures.
that is what I did. I was like, take them all now and then put them away. And someone will still do it.
Marquez, have you guys officiated a wedding?
I've never officiated a wedding.
All right, so we're in the majority here.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, this is the craziest statistic. Like
I've only been the photographer at a wedding. I've never.
I think that's way more pressure.
Way more.
It was.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Especially because they didn't tell me that it was their wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then there's not a lot of pressure.
did they tell you?
And
They
then
said-
into all of the pressure.
You should come out for the weekend for this like family and best friends party.
Oh my! They didn't say it was a wedding.
And then I showed up and they were like, this is actually our wedding. Surprise everybody. And then I was like, and they were like, David, can you take the pictures? And I was like, but luckily I bring my cameras everywhere, so it worked out. But
I have 2 notes on this whole topic. One, true story: Linus wore socks and sandals to Austin and Evan's wedding.
nice.
There were black socks and black sandals, but it was socks and sandals.
It was
Nice.
on theme.
dressed up.
I was going to
Yeah.
say that's pretty impressive.
on
stuck
brand?
to the
On
bit.
brand.
Yeah, on brand.
It worked out. It was a suit. It was great.
That's dope.
And 2, I wore an Apple Watch to the Met Gala. I do.
Oh yeah.
That's- If anyone's, you have the
looked good.
greatest answer to this question possible of like, is this bigger than the Met Gala?
Is this more
And-
formal?
I will add, Marquez,
Yes.
you looked great.
You did look
I think
great.
so. It was just under the cuff. It wasn't like out, it wasn't like a
Yeah.
highlight of my outfit, but it was there. And you
But-
can see it in pictures, and it's not that bad.
But all the pictures I saw of you with the watch, and correct me if I'm wrong, you did have the screen off.
I don't remember.
Okay.
It probably didn't show up on camera. Yeah. I for sure wasn't on my watch during it.
Yeah.
But it was there in case I needed the stand hours
Oh my god.
or if I got an important email. you know,
Okay,
I would know.
as a watch guy, I'm screaming internally at this whole conversation.
I want your take. I want your take.
Because not only should you not wear Apple Watches, I think they should go a step further and ban certain kinds of watches.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
Certain kinds of regular watches?
Yeah, even mechanical watch, like because there are Rolexes that are like 50 millimeters and they're massive, and it's like I don't care if it's a Rolex, get that behemoth off your wrist. Like it needs to be a nice dress watch, classy, thin, slide under the cuff. There's a whole thing about when you're doing suits and tuxedos, you want like a nice watch that just disappears.
Yeah, but then you're trying to like control the guest's look.
It's dress code.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
way.
You already have to wear a certain color.
Unless you're Hagrid, 43 millimeters max. Right? Am I right?
I just want to know,
Interesting.
in this scenario, if like someone was wearing their smartwatch and the bride comes up and says, "I said no Apple Watches," and they go, "This is the Galaxy Watch 5."
Ma'am, this is a Whoop.
This is just a garment.
How
Relax.
does that play out?
Well, it's the same
That's-
thing as like when you have your Android phone and you go to the bodega and you go to pay and they go, "Oh, Apple Pay," and you're like, "Yeah,
Yes.
I could become difficult here, but there's no reason to do so."
Good move. Definitely a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny. I
One
think-
other thing I want to bring up real quick,
Yeah.
related to this, is like the Apple Watch is the most popular watch in the world.
It is.
I wonder how many people only started wearing a watch at all because they wanted an Apple Watch versus the people that replaced
A lot of people.
their existing
think
watch. A lot
many.
of people.
Yeah, a ton.
So in that way, it could be considered more of an accessory, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if any single one of us here got that wedding invite, we would just not wear our Apple
Yeah,
Watch.
because I'm respectful. Do
I would for sure push the bound. I would
Except for
for
the
sure
shoes.
dress up the Apple Watch and put it in theater mode, and then be
You-
like, "Do you still want me to take it off?"
You should have it like on a chain in your vest, like
like Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Wait, do they make
No, I mean like the
Yeah, they do.
pocket watch?
like pocket
do.
watch, Apple
They
Watch.
do.
I thought you meant like
Amazon?
how he wears a
No,
clock.
no, how
They
it's
have
like
that.
in your vest in the little pocket.
Interesting. I'm
They
not
do.
I'm not getting the rings though if I do that. That's
Yeah,
funny.
you're right.
No, it can. Fun fact: the Apple Watch can track your heart rate through your upper thigh. It's a thing.
But you're wearing it.
I'm lying.
Yeah, I was like
Strapped.
This is if it's like a
Unlikely.
in pocket watch config in the front pocket next to your phone.
You know
I'd
how
be
in the
impressed.
movies they have like the assassins that have like the knife on their upper thigh? You do that, but you just strap the Apple Watch there so they can track your steps.
Yeah, gotta get those steps, man.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
We got to move on.
yeah.
We do.
Fun headline: you can now buy a Hyundai on Amazon in the U.S. I see this headline, and it's Amazon Autos, and I'm familiar with eBay Motors and other ways of buying a car online. But there's something funny about the idea of like buying a car and then like 24 hours
Amazon
later
Prime.
they just like deliver it to your driveway.
Well, they
like
don't do
Amazon
that.
Prime. But
They
that's
don't
not
do
what's
that.
happening.
No.
But that's what you picture when you see Amazon and
Yeah.
this headline. But
They don't
it's
deliver it
Amazon Autos.
They
They're-
don't deliver it
No,
to
they
you.
don't deliver it to you.
I bought a lawnmower with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
That's
Free
pretty close.
shipping. I feel like
Pretty
we're
close.
not that far off.
Yeah.
Can you get a car-sized drone on Amazon delivery?
No, they're too busy flying in our skies right now.
Okay, so basically they are launching Amazon Autos. It's this new push that they're doing in the United States thus far. They partnered with 48 different cities and specifically Hyundai right now. But effectively, you put in your zip code and it tells you this is the closest Hyundai dealership that has the car you want. You select your make, model, and trim of what they have available. And then you can do everything that you would normally do with an actual car dealership.
Yeah.
Like you can trade in your car through the Amazon portal.
You can also sort by prices. Like I'm pulling up
I'm
cars
trying
in
to
our
be on
area
it
right now. There's
How
a ton.
would you search? How did you actually search this?
I clicked on the Amazon Autos link
Oh.
in the article, and it took me to the hub.
It's
And
not
then-
great that I can't figure this out exactly from their actual page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Buy-
there's a
oh, no.
banner.
If you type in Hyundai, then there's buy your new Hyundai on Amazon. Shop available cars.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it is crazy. It kind of looks like when eBay launched eBay Motors. It's a weird idea to see a car on Amazon.
Yeah.
But right now it's only with Hyundai, but they're planning on expanding to the manufacturers next year, and they're also going to expand the amount of dealerships that they they work with.
What I'm interested in is the button says begin purchase, not purchase.
Well,
Which like, but like every single auto like dealership has a price, and then you go there and it's a different price, and then you have to play that dumb.
there's no
game
heckling on this.
Yeah, is this like price listed as price
Yes.
out the door? That's
Yes.
great.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It says that.
I read that in an article.
I can almost guarantee you this would not be the price when I got to the dealership, whether they
So-
say that or not. I've had dealerships
you
straight
check
up
out-
lie to Claire.
You check out on Amazon though.
It says begin purchase.
Yeah,
though.
but you go through the process. You
The price
give them
says price, excluding government fees, taxes, and $187.50 dealer fee.
Oh,
But then that should be it. You're
Yeah.
sure you're not haggling anymore
No.
after you like lock this price in.
which you never should have ever had to do with cars.
That's been
that was the one thing that Tesla really like
People love.
changed the world with was like, can I just pay for the thing at the price that it says?
yeah.
but the price changes every 2 weeks.
That's true.
That's it.
That's fair
And you
enough.
have to wait
win some,
7
lose
years.
some. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just sort, cars near you. There's a bunch of Ioniq 6, Ioniq 5.
You know what they have to do now? They have to bring back the Amazon Dash button.
No.
You should be not only should you be able to buy a Hyundai on Amazon, you should be able to hit a button in your pantry.
Stock it.
Yeah, and get
Under the
6
sink.
of them.
Yeah.
For those that don't remember this, in like 2017 or so, they released the Amazon Dash button, which was a little sticky button you could have in your house that when you pressed it, it would just automatically order the thing that you assigned it to.
It's usually like paper towels or
Yeah.
dishwasher
Tide
tabs
Pods.
or
Yeah, and people's kids started just smashing them, and there were these stories of like 30 boxes of toilet paper would just show up at people's houses.
That's wild to not have two-factor on that. Just like, give me a notification on my phone. Don't just
Confirm.
order. Someone could just... I ordered 12 boxes of Tide Pods just now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Two-factor. That's the only... Yeah.
There was a really fun hacker community going on with that though, where people were reassigning them to things like opening their garage and like doing
That's sick.
routines and stuff with them.
That is sick.
It was pretty cool because they were free actually. I think I think they were $5, but they gave you $5 off your next purchase of the thing they were assigned to.
Why would Amazon not want a button that just gave them money every
Yeah.
time you pressed it?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
So that's fun. Maybe you'll buy your next car on Amazon. Dystopia.
Maybe your next Hyundai. Okay. Here's another interesting one that's come up this week, and I haven't tried this, but I really am curious to. And maybe you'll be interested too. Instagram trial reels. So hear me out. Typically, when you post a reel, you want to make sure your followers see it, right? But what if there was a feature, and yes, the irony is not lost on me, but what if there was a feature where you could publish a reel where none of your followers see it, but it does populate to the feed and the algorithm can pick it up and non-followers can start to react to it?
I thought that was just called posting on Instagram.
That's what the comments are all saying. But the idea behind this trial reel is you're not really sure if your audience will be into this one, but you do want to sort of test the waters and see how people are reacting to it. And if it turns out to be a good one, then you can sort of unlock it and it will then show up on the homepage in the feed for your followers as well and on your profile. They can still have it sent to them. Like if it gets shown in someone else's reel, it gets sent to you. It's still visible, but it's a trial reel. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting feature to me.
My first question, and I don't want to throw this off topic too hard, too fast. This seems like it would take a lot of work to develop creating a way of posting something that goes to an algorithm that doesn't involve your followers. Like, this wasn't an easy task from Instagram.
I
Don't they
actually
just
wonder.
check all of your followers from people who could see it.
Yeah, it just feels. The only thing it's doing is it's not populating in the home feed for the people who follow you.
Yeah.
So like only in
or on
like
your page.
swiping reels, pretty much.
But it does show up when people swipe reels in Explore.
so if I'm following
but
David,
not the people who follow me.
yeah,
Right.
but still, so like that means it's sending it to the feed, but now I have to have a feed.
It just says
that
exclude
involves-
from followers of David.
yeah,
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they did this before an Instagram app or iPad app.
that is.
I just got the iPad. I'm allowed to complain even more now.
Oh yeah.
because I want
How does
Instagram
it?
on
Have you
so-
tried it on the Mini, the Instagram app?
No, I didn't.
It's
There
not
is.
even-
Oh, it's just like the
It's just
phone
the
app, right?
shrunken-
I haven't even downloaded it.
Fair.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I want to try this.
So the idea is if you're like a beauty influencer and you're mostly doing beauty videos, but you want to do like a comedy reel or something, and you don't want the people who normally only subscribe to you for beauty things to see it because you want to experiment, then after 24 hours, you get to see how all the rest of Instagram liked it. And then you get to decide at that point if you want to put it on your followers feed and on your page, or if you want to archive it immediately, which is kind of weird.
It's a trial run.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's going to go out to the random people, but then you have to decide if you want to delete it or put it on your page. And if you put it on your page, then your followers will see it. Right. So they're going to see it anyway.
Well, it also automatically posts to your page after 3 days if it does well. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's no way to keep it private. It would be crazy to like make something that's viral that your audience can like never see and like create this secondary feed of whatever you're doing.
I've wanted this for YouTube for so long, where like you have a YouTube, you know how people make multiple YouTube channels for different interests?
Yep.
It's like, can you just subscribe to someone's interest on their YouTube channel? You know, like if I wanted to have a photography section of my YouTube channel and someone could subscribe to that, and I wanted a video essay section and people could subscribe to that, I would much prefer that to just making separate YouTube channels.
Google Plus was so ahead of its time.
Can you follow a playlist?
Was that part of Google Plus?
Yeah. You just share it to your photography circle.
Oh, yeah.
Or people who follow you would put you in the photography circle, and then the things you share would just be in
You
photography.
can't follow a playlist on someone's channel?
It
would mean they would have to correctly put it in the
And
playlist
people
every
would have
time,
to
but
keep only following the playlist, which
that
nobody
would be
does.
kind of strange.
And also, they've just deprioritized subscriptions anyway, and the algorithm just does everything now. So it'd be nice if Instagram had this too, you know?
Yeah.
It's like David.beauty, David.comedy. I don't know.
I just want to, like, what funny things could you do with these reels that aren't going out to your audience, but going out to other audiences?
Gaslight
Like,
your
what-
audience.
What content can you, like, put out there that you're specifically, like, because you have a huge audience, right? So, like, you could say, don't show this to 4 million people, essentially, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And, like, what funny, cryptic thing could you do on the side of it?
There's got to be
if you're seeing this, it's
a
too
joke
late.
I could play. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, like, that's what I
There
mean.
is a possibility that that could be really interesting, yeah. I don't know. This is why, well, I'm sure I'll have this feature at some point soon, but yeah, I want to try this. And I'm going to probably do it with like a throwaway reel that I, wasn't going to publish anyway, but just to see what happens.
So now to properly follow your favorite Instagram influencer, you need an account that follows them and an account that doesn't follow them just in
everything.
case they post something.
But you have to randomly see it in
Yeah,
your
you have to
reels.
get lucky enough to find it.
Dang.
True fans.
Why is it different once you've shown it to random people and it performed well with random people that you're willing to put it on your page? Because your followers are still going to react the same way that they always have.
Well, maybe. Okay, I'm trying to think. I hear what you're saying, but maybe there's something you're trying that's like a little bit outside of your comfort zone, and you want to try it first to see if regular people. Because the goal when you publish a reel is to grow your following anyway. You want it to be shown to people who don't follow you. But sometimes if it's shown to the people who follow you and they don't react to it well, then it kind of hurts the chances of it being shown to more people. So you want to start with it being shown to those more people just to see if they like it. If they do like it, okay, my regular audience probably will like it too. But if they don't like it, never mind. It was just a trial.
That's a fair point. It's like if I want to do something else, but I want to have a better chance of it doing well in the algorithm.
Yeah, something a little different my audience probably wouldn't immediately love.
Also, quick clarification. It auto shares after 72 hours if you click the toggle to allow it to share if it performs well.
So there's a potential that you can post something and permanently leave it on only the non-follower feed. There's some potential to do something silly here, and I need to figure it out before someone else does.
You should be brainstorming this whole thing. It should be an incredible.
My
we'll
winter
find out.
break.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't celebrate Christmas Lane. I have to figure it out.
I need a crazy
There's
reel.
a joke here somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to take a quick break. We got a bunch more phones to talk about, stuff that's come out this year and that's coming next year, and even more after that. So before we take that break, trivia time.
Today's first question is, we talked about buying a car on Amazon, but this is not the first time really expensive stuff has been sold on Amazon. So today I'm going to read you 3 real Amazon listings, and I need you to tell me which one is the most expensive.
I like this.
Are you ready to hear the listings? I'm going to read the titles verbatim from Amazon. Product number 1. Quick, simple, easy, SEQ, fully equipped, double story, 2-bedroom prefab, expandable container house, 40 feet by 20 feet, luxury home, stairs included, free bed set with terrace.
I would love that.
The most Amazon listing possible.
I know, right? So just for clarity, this is a luxury prefab 2-story home with
stories.
40 by 20 feet. Floor plan.
Stairs included.
Item number 2. Queen Victoria, Banco de Londres y Mexico, 1,000 pesos, 1905 dated, stock certificate with dividend coupons attached, uncanceled. That is.
I thought it was a painting at first, and then
Yeah, me too.
Those are vintage peso notes from Mexico from 1905. Item number 3 is a painting. It is the painting titled The Way by expressionist artist that's a really hard name. I apologize.
Leave this in.
Gafur Temuryanov.
Nice.
Gafur Temuryanov. The painting is called The Way, and it is an expressionist painting.
You're looking at what it looks like?
No, because if you look up what it looks like, you'll probably see the price.
oh, I was trying to make a joke, but
The Way.
I didn't see any price. Right? You didn't see any price.
I didn't see any price.
I was trying. Never mind. I was doing DeWay, like show me DeWay, the Sonic the Hedgehog thing,
Yeah.
but
Knuckles the
it
Echidna.
didn't work.
Anyway, so think about which one of those is most expensive. Old money, a big small house, a small big house,
Stairs included.
stairs included, or some paint on a canvas
By a person.
by a person that I personally have never heard of, but maybe they are a world famous artist.
It's on Amazon. All right. We will think about that. Answers will be at the end, like usual. We'll be right back. Support for Waveform comes from AT&T. What does it feel like to get the new iPhone 16 Pro with AT&T Next Up Anytime? It's like when you first pick up those tongs and you know you're the one running the grill. It's indescribable. It's like something you've never felt before. All the mouthwatering anticipation of new possibilities, whether that's making the perfect cheeseburger or treating your family to a grilled baked potato, which you know will forever change the way they look at potatoes. With AT&T Next Up Anytime, you can feel this way again and again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024 with Siri and device language set to US English. Some features and languages will be coming over the next year. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime features may be discontinued at any time. Subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See att.com/iPhone for details. All right, welcome back. We've got a bunch of phones that are next to me here now. You can kind of see them if you're looking at the video version. But the idea behind this is we reviewed a bunch of phones this year, but there's also a bunch of phones that come out that we don't review. And a couple of them I still think are at least noteworthy in some way. Spoiler alert, the smartphone awards are also coming out, depending on when you're watching this, either soon or it's also just come out. We love the smartphone awards. That's like the big flagship video to end the year. We recognize a lot of phones, and a lot of phones get mentioned that didn't get their own videos. I think this is a good time to highlight some phones that have come out in the last few weeks of the year that haven't gotten a video, but that are interesting in some way.
There's also a lot of phones that come out this time of the year, we realized, because we like started doing this at the beginning of November and then looked at our email and we're like, there's a lot of things we still need to see.
A big thing is that Qualcomm used to release their new flagship chip in December, so the first chips would come out around the first phones would come out around January, but they keep moving it back, and now they did it in early October.
Yeah, so this year we got a whole wave of phones in November and December.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting because I put together my award winners like mid-November, and then I thought, wait, there's like 2 or 3 phones that might actually be worthy of checking out. And we like held back on some of the trophies and like on some of the awards and actually got to test some of these phones and have now put together the awards accordingly. So anyway, I got 4 phones in front of me here. and we can do them in any order. Or I don't know if we have a theme for how we want to start, but
just
they all have the word Pro in the name.
They do. That's one thing
All
I
four
noticed
of
from
them.
here.
They're all very expensive phones, but I think we can just go through one by one.
Yeah.
Maybe let's start with the Vivo. Okay, so here's interesting phone number one. This is the Vivo X200 Pro. There's also a family of X200s. There's an X200 and an X200 Mini. This phone is complete. It's got it all. It's the Ultra of Vivo's lineup. I think the most impressive part of it, though, would be the cameras. So they work with Zeiss. It's got a 50 megapixel primary camera, 50 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then a 200 megapixel telephoto camera. And what that means is you can crop in a lot and ideally still maintain sharpness. And it's a really good set of cameras. I think this is the closest to a real camera that I've seen a smartphone camera shooting experience get, from the results to the actual shots, like shooting them. And you can tell by looking at it, it's a very
It's gigantic.
camera-focused phone. Yeah, thoughts? Any other things you want to know about it?
I just think that the funniest thing about this line is that the Vivo X200 Mini is still 6.3 inches.
Yeah, Mini. Yeah,
What does
we'll
Mini
talk
really
about
mean?
that in the smartphone awards. But Mini, there's not too many small phones these days.
Yeah.
This phone also has a giant battery and super fast charging and wireless charging, and it's got a pretty high end chip that enables a lot of the AI features. It's not the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but it is
MediaTek Dimensity 9400.
There you have it.
Yeah.
And it's a rock solid phone. It's actually a really, 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 really good phone. So
Wait, this street photography mode is kind of cool.
there's a bunch of modes that are crazy in the camera. If you should also try. So there's a portrait mode
see
lens
picture, like-
emulator.
I'm assuming it's emulating half of these, but it
that
lets
looks
you
so good.
pick
It
like
actually has
the focal
contrast.
length and like
It actually has contrast.
and there's different.
Oh wow. There's different like
Are you looking at the portrait mode?
Is it
lenses
LUTs?
things.
Yeah. So the lenses, you can emulate the background bokeh swirl characteristics of different lenses as well, which is really, and it still has like a cutout and you kind of can tell it's a fake portrait mode, but it's cool that it works and actually looks
We're
like
in
a
the
real
like
camera.
street photography mode that makes it kind of look
That's
filmy
super
and has
cool.
like different.
Textured. Yeah, there's a
It says textured and then it says like a Zeiss one.
It seems like natural looks like any other smartphone camera and then it just jacks the shadows a ton. But
Classic.
textured actually gives it
Textured was one
contrast.
of the versions, not the
It's one of the LUTs.
LUTs.
Vivid is just more saturated than natural with brighter highlights. Then there's black and white, and then textured just is more contrast.
So as you can see by what's happening here, this is a phone that you would get if you're really into photography. If you are very into the different looks you can get, the different customizations you can mess with, the different lenses or like pseudo fake AI helped lenses that you can play with on a camera, this is all of that. There's just a ton of stuff in the camera here. And then it happens to be an awesome phone outside of the great camera. So see?
Wait, that zoom seems kind of nuts.
What is
Actually,
The zoom is really so
This
it's
goes to 100, right?
135 millimeter.
135x.
Oh no,
millimeters.
It's
But it does
converting to millimeter in this.
Gotcha.
The like street photography.
Sony
mode.
needs to take notes because like
This is the exact opposite of Sony. Sony is
Well,
like
it's like in
but-
between.
But Sony's is like really hard to understand, and like so, and this is like let's take pro
Yeah.
like, features and make it fun to
Simple.
look at and like a clean UI.
Sony already announced something like this. It's just coming out in 2 years.
No, I mean it's got all these pro features like white balance and aperture and shutter speed that you can control manually, and then it's got these rapid focal length changing features. But like this is considered basic mode,
Yeah.
which is crazy. C1, C2. Oh, there's presets. Oh my
presets,
god,
yeah.
this is awesome.
Yeah.
but in
Holy
like
crap.
a fun UI that like
Yeah.
feels filmy.
Anyway, sorry. That's
So, yeah.
just the camera.
That's just the camera.
Yeah.
It also is a great screen. It's also got these nice flat sides and it's got this brushed metal look to it. It's nice. It's got this ring. Vivo X200 Pro. That's the first one. Any other questions about it? Any other ideas? Yeah, that's the first one.
You gonna
camera
swap
is
swap to that, Ellis?
Oh yeah.
This is one where like it's got an ultrasonic fingerprint reader too. There's one where the camera bump is so big that you kind of feel it when you're holding it, like weighs the phone. I will say the Oppo Find X8 Pro is kind of like a cousin phone to this. but it's similar, except it has, I think this phone has two different telephoto lenses. So it's all 50 megapixel sensors, but it's like a 50 megapixel primary, ultra wide, 3x and 6x. So that's what they did with this instead. It's got this nice, I'll let you hold it. It's like a marble feeling back with this particular color. It is, let me double check, but I believe this is the first Snapdragon 8 Elite phone we're looking at. So let me just...
The marble back is really nice. No fingerprints, although the marble texture almost just looks like it's already smudged.
Yeah.
This feels nicer in the hand just because it's like thinner and less top heavy, despite still having a huge camera bump.
Yeah, it seems like the Oppo one is a little bit more about style than functionality necessarily, even though the Find X phones have always been really, really amazing. Ever since the first one came out, it's just been like...
I've reviewed a lot of Oppo Find X phones. This is not a Snapdragon 8 Elite phone, by the way, so this is still the Dimensity 9400. It was in consideration as well for battery, because if you look at the specs, it's a 5910 milliamp hour battery with wireless charging, with fast charging. So that was another thing. Like,
this thin? That's
crazy. In a phone that looks like a regular thickness. So there's a lot of good things going on with that phone too. It has the word Pro in the name for a reason. You know, it's got high-end stuff happening with the screen. It's bright.
Hasselblad branding.
Hasselblad branding. Pretty classic. That's the thing they keep doing.
But does it have AI?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
In fact, when you go to the website, it just says powerful camera, powerful AI.
Yeah, it has the slider, the alert slider. That's the OnePlus calling of it, but the volume slider switch on the corner as well.
Alert switch, yeah.
Alert switch.
Yeah.
So that is the Oppo Find X8 Pro. That's also out. Oh, it's called the alert slider too. Okay, cool. Then we have these two phones over here. These are both Snapdragon 8 Elite phones. So I just want to say what that means. So that's the new Snapdragon chip, the new Qualcomm chip. The Snapdragon 8 Elite has started coming out, and I think Dave 2D did a really good job with his video about this. Somehow this chip has made like a really big leap from the previous generation of Snapdragon chips from Qualcomm to the point where it's both more efficient and has higher peak power in a meaningful way. So you can get better performance in a way that doesn't throttle with games when they make good cooling solutions for these phones, and they get longer battery life. Like 20, 30, maybe 40% longer. That's a crazy jump for 1 year. So really looking forward to seeing a lot of phones with the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip in them. These two we have here are very much gaming phones. So they have focused on the performance aspect, but also happen to do a really good job with the rest of the stuff too, because gaming phones are great media phones. So here's the first one. This is the ROG Phone 9 Pro. So a couple things about this one is they have the screen on the back that you saw me make the short on, but also still has wireless charging, just higher on the back of the phone. You have a 185 hertz display at the front. There's still a headphone jack at the bottom. There's still the two USB-C ports. They've kind of tamed down the aesthetic overall, but you still have the front-facing speakers. It's still very much a gaming phone with the high refresh rate and the high brightness and the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but that's that.
There's something funny about going from the X200 Pro with the Zeiss branded camera to the Oppo with the Hasselblad branded camera, and then this one just has like the good luck, have fun.
Yeah, yeah. You
on it instead.
The difference in cameras between the gaming phones and the other daily flagships is
This is
stark.
sleek though. This is like what the ROG phones should have always been, in the sense of like it's still a gamer phone. It's got somewhat of gamer aesthetic, but
Yes.
not the like make fun of me on the subway gamer aesthetic.
Because last year they kind of took away a lot of the things that made it feel gamery at all. And then now they brought back like the texture and the like
this still has
stripe.
the rapid triggers and stuff
Yes,
too, right? And
touch
then
triggers.
the side USB-C port, if you're really gaming all the time, awesome, because then it's not in the way on the side. Although the headphone jack's still on the side, so that feels counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can play. I mean, if you're on the subway playing games on the back of your phone, you're probably still going to get looked at. But
Yeah.
it's great for that. 5,800 milliamp hour battery, 65 watt hypercharge.
Yeah.
Good looks. It's funny because like the percent doesn't seem that big. It'll be like, oh, this is a 5% or 10% larger battery, and that might not make headlines the same way as the experience difference. But
I think people just don't care why their battery life's longer. They
That's
just
true.
want their battery life to be longer.
Yeah,
So
that's also true. I mean, we get into the details, but this is the last phone. This is the Redmagic 10 Pro. This has a cutout in the back or on the side for an active fan, which turns on anytime temperatures get up, anytime you're gaming, or anytime you plugged in charging. And when you plug it in, you hear the fan. I wish I had like a USB. I would hold it up to the mic so you could hear it. But like the fan spins up and it makes like a whining noise. So this phone is very much concerned with performance and thermals. Oh, do we have
Do you need it in a charger? I just figured your computer, yeah.
Let's actually plug it in so you can hear the fan. All right. This is plugging in the Redmagic 10 Pro.
Oh my goodness. I would not want that to happen every time I plug my phone in.
Yeah, like
you can turn the fan off, but that's a default because it wants to maximize your charging speed, which is 100 watts peak without overheating. It has a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, 7,050.
Okay.
So it's combining the new Snapdragon Elite chip with the 7,050 milliamp hour battery. It also has the air triggers. It's very squared off. This is much more in the gamer aesthetic.
I dig it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think it looks really sick.
It's a good looking phone. It's pretty clean on the front, pretty minimal, not much to the bezels. You've got you got a headphone jack at the top, which is cool. This is a gaming phone for sure. It's got all of the fun graphics on the back that you'd expect from a gaming
fans
phone.
on both sides.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you can literally see the fan.
Yeah, this is not going to be a waterproof phone.
No, this is not waterproof.
Yeah. Pretty crazy that this is a phone with a 7,050 milliamp hour battery, and it just looks like a normal phone.
Yeah.
It's a big phone, but it's a normal looking phone.
Yeah. A few manufacturers recently switched from lithium ion to silicon carbon batteries, and you can pack a lot more energy density in that same package.
Yeah.
That was a very quiet update that we didn't really hear a lot of fanfare about, but that's actually a pretty major thing. It's probably because a lot of manufacturers, instead of actually giving you more battery capacity, will just make the phone thinner and have the same battery capacity, which is probably what's going to happen in the iPhone 17 Slim or whatever that ends up being called.
Yeah, I keep seeing that. The Air or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I do appreciate that they're improving battery density in a meaningful way, because there's always all the hype about the graphene battery or some crazy breakthrough battery. That's not really usually how it works. Usually it's just slow improvements over time. And this is maybe a 3 to 5 to 8% improvement in battery density, but that's the difference between 5,000 and 5,800.
Right.
You could get a 7,000 milliamp hour battery in a phone now. So
it's wild. They put a 7,000 milliamp hour battery in here.
Yeah.
And a fan.
24 gigs of RAM.
24.
You can see it through the side too.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
That's wild. And a headphone jack. They have space. Look at this.
They've always had
Just
space.
telling you.
7,000 milliamp and a headphone jack.
And a fan.
They've always had
They've
space.
always had space.
Andrew, something crazy. I would maybe switch to that for a little bit.
It's kind of sick.
I just think it's one of the prettiest finishes I had seen on a phone in a long time.
It's just like very industrial, kind of like Gundam-esque. And
I
think
like
it's
the
really
battery
nice.
life, and I would miss literally everything about my current phone. But
This is as opposite as your iPhone purple mini.
Yeah.
but I think
as could be.
I think in spirit it's kind of the same. You know what I mean? It's
No, it's not. I need you to explain that.
yeah, it is. Yeah. No,
This
I
is the
got it. I
iPhone
got
mini
you. I got
spirit
you. Look,
animal.
Look, I'm not using an iPhone 12 mini because it's better than any other iPhone, right? I'm using it for two reasons. I'm using it because I already have it, and I'm using it because I love the finish. You know what I mean? Like if I really cared about my phone to that extreme degree, I would just get a better iPhone for, at this point, like $100, because I could get a better iPhone and get an iPhone 13. You know,
sure.
And that's the spirit of that thing. You know what I mean? Like it's got a great finish. It's already in the office, so I wouldn't need to pay for it. and yeah, so I think spiritually that is the 12 mini purple finish of bizarre Android phones.
I'll just point out all the differences. The 12 mini is one of the smallest phones in the past decade.
Facts.
This phone has a 6.85 inch corner to corner, 144 hertz, 2000 nits OLED display.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
It's gorgeous. It is huge. Yep. It's about the size of the battery. I think that's about where it would fit in the corner of the phone.
Jeez.
I will note the iPhone 12 mini also had a decent camera. I don't think this phone is going to have that good of a camera. That's just a hunch. I haven't tested it that much,
You
but
can't
it is
use your camera when you're ripping Subway Surfers with your fan on, so it doesn't matter.
There's also
just
no bump, so I imagine small sensors.
no camera bump at all, which is cool. Make the phone a little thicker and do that, but that is another difference. The iPhone has, I mean, this is a nice purple finish, a pretty lilac color, not too offensive. This phone has text all over the back. It's got a big X logo. I don't know why. It's not the Twitter logo, and it's not the, it's not the Snapdragon 8X Elite logo. So what is the X?
Is it?
X Games mode? It's probably X Games mode. It says cooling system on the back. It's got the ROG, or it's got the Redmagic logo. It's got a lot. It's busy, I would say, is another difference.
Seeing you hold it up like that, it reminds me of how the battery of like the Hummer EV is the size of a Honda Civic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It has a headphone jack.
Yeah.
And it has a
Ellis likes
does.
headphones.
It has a headphone jack.
Yeah.
But what do you do about your Apple Watch, Ellis?
How much RAM does the
Plug it
iPhone
in the
12 Mini
headphone
have?
jack.
See? This is why they're being sued by the US government.
But yeah, honestly, AirDrop would be the thing I miss more than the Apple Watch. Because then I can start going to weddings again.
True.
It's true.
The iPhone 12 Mini had 4 gigs of RAM.
How much does this one have?
This one has 24 gigs of RAM.
Does this really have 24 gigs of RAM?
Mm-hmm.
Gamers can't afford this. If you're a gamer, you cannot afford this. I'm sorry.
This phone might not be too expensive. I gotta look it up. But yeah, that's what's going on. Big new batteries, new higher battery density, new chips, massive new interesting camera stuff. Those 4 phones all came out in the last month, basically, in the US, which is pretty cool. And there's also a phone we're expecting to come out next year, which some rumors are starting to spill about a little bit, which would be the Galaxy S25s. Number one, I would also expect those to be Snapdragon 8 Elite phones, at least here in the US. But number two, there's a rumor about, this keeps coming up, Qi2.
Yes.
What is the deal with Qi2 in this phone?
Qi2.
Is this happening or not?
Probably.
There's
Okay.
well, it's kind of weird because there's a rumor from Ice Universe, but Ice Universe didn't tweet it. Someone else tweeted that Ice Universe said it, so I'm very confused about that part. But there are so many articles saying Ice Universe says Qi2 in the S25, but all of them are sourcing it from a tweet from someone else. So
Interesting.
take that as you may.
Okay.
What?
This is not the first phone with Qi2. That's the HMD Skyline, which I'd never heard of until I was.
It's
looking
really
at it.
weird.
It
It's a
looks
really bad. It's
interesting.
a badly rated phone.
Okay, cool.
All you need to know about it is that it tries to do the curved aesthetic in the front, but then for some reason it's also square.
Oh, this is the Windows Phone aesthetic.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Lumia aesthetic.
Exactly. Like,
Oh.
look at the screen of it.
Wait, what the?
Wait, I think, doesn't HMD own,
Nokia.
yeah, and they did the Nokia Lumia. So this is just the same company.
I guess
doing
so.
this.
Yeah.
It looks like the front of the Pixel Fold.
yeah.
the first one. Yeah.
Oh, that's,
But with like
Or
the
no, that's
side.
the new one.
Yeah,
the new
yeah,
one.
yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. You're
But
right.
just the side of it, yeah.
Yeah, it was not rated very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah, so
too.
Qi2, we've
Yeah.
all been dying about Qi2. And then there was a bunch of questions. So what was confusing is the GSM Arena article about this said that there's 2 profiles for Qi2, one called EPP and one for MPP. But then David found a Wired article that explains the difference. Essentially, that's extended power profile or magnetic power profile. Biggest difference is one has a magnet, one doesn't have a magnet. So everyone on Reddit's like, is it going to have the magnets? Is it not going to have the magnets? The magnets is what we really
That's all I
care
want.
about here. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to read the quote from the Wired article?
Okay, so WPC's Paul Golden, which I did an interview with when we did our Qi2 episode, actually. He was quoted in this Wired article, and this is a quote from him. He says, EPP refers to a device that complies with the specification, but is not officially Qi2, and thus cannot use the logo or be referred to as a Qi2 device. Golden told Wired in an email that such devices would carry the Qi logo, not Qi2, and packaging and or marketing materials have a required statement that the device does not contain magnets. Any device labeled Qi2 is MPP, which is magnetic power profile, and must contain magnets. So I remember actually when the HMD Skyline came out at first, and everyone was like, is this Qi2? Is it not Qi2? Because it has the magnets, but it doesn't work with some Qi Qi chargers. And that's because the magnets are in like a different arrangement, or the charging coil is in a different place. It's confusing. Effectively, if you have the Qi2 branding, if there is the little 2 right below the Qi logo, it will have magnets.
Okay, so magnets does not mean Qi2, but Qi2 does mean magnets.
Correct.
Okay.
And what will be, so I guess what we're going off of this as is based on what Ice Universe saw. So if this was, which we don't even know because he didn't even tweet it.
Possibly.
Gosh.
That if they saw the logo somewhere on the phone or the marketing materials, if it's a Qi2, then we should have magnets.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting from
That's
this.
what the Wireless Power Consortium, who standardizes Qi, says.
And it seems like most leakers are seeing things that are marketing material, boxes, like CAD renderings and stuff like that. So I'm assuming the reason Ice Universe is saying Qi2 is because of seeing one of those things inside of a leak, which makes me think they saw the logo, which would mean magnets.
That would be good.
I hope so.
I would
I got
be very
plenty
into
of
that.
magnetic accessories. I just want to
Still think it's one of the best things that every single phone needs, not
Yeah.
just iPhones.
Yeah, for every car out there that doesn't have CarPlay, where you put your phone up on a magnetic dock, it's just been iPhones on those docks so far. But I would love to put my
cases,
Galaxy S25.
Yeah, and if
Or
you could
someone
charge
with
your
a case.
phone while it's on there,
That'd be huge.
it'd be fire.
Okay, well, I hope that comes out. All right, well, we do want to take one more break. We'll be talking about Sora and some other stuff right after. But before we take that last break, we got one more trivia question.
Trivia, dude. So we were talking about the Apple Watch earlier being allowed at weddings or not. But do you remember the Apple Watch edition?
Hell yeah, the gold one, the $20,000.
18 karat gold Apple Watch. It ranged in price from 10,000 to what? What was the most expensive version of that watch
Too
that you
expensive for a thing that will become
lot.
outdated and get slow.
can get? It already is
It
outdated.
was outdated
so-
less than 12 months after it was
Yes,
released.
indeed.
I remember that because
Sad.
I almost did a video. I was researching about the fastest outdated products of all time, and I read that the Apple Watch edition was discontinued like 10 or 11 months later, and
Oh,
that was really sad.
discontinued.
Well, they stopped doing the edition gold thing with the next Apple Watch like the next year. So it's like you just bought a 10,000 up to some crazy number, very expensive watch.
Wow.
And yeah,
You literally could have just gotten the gold colored one for so much cheaper.
I think they very shortly started making gold color. That's tough. I'm trying to remember the price. Okay. Well, we'll think about that. Answers at the end like usual. We'll be right back. Support for Waveform comes from AT&T. What does it feel like to get the new iPhone 16 Pro with AT&T Next Up Anytime? It's like when you first pick up those tongs and you know you're the one running the grill. It's indescribable. It's like something you've never felt before. All the mouthwatering anticipation of new possibilities, whether that's making the perfect cheeseburger or treating your family to a grilled baked potato, which you know will forever change the way they look at potatoes. With AT&T Next Up Anytime, you can feel this way again and again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024 with Siri and device language set to US English. Some features and languages will be coming over the next year. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime features may be discontinued at any time. Subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See att.com/iPhone for details. All right, welcome back. Is this video real or AI generated? Who knows? Who knows?
I can prove it's real.
You can prove it's real? 5 fingers.
All my fingers are moving around normally.
It also has audio.
Physics is working.
Audio is a really good sign. Physics, moving things in realistic ways is a good sign. Okay, so we're real, for sure, guaranteed. But
That's what an AI would say.
but we just got Sora's official launch this week. Sora being OpenAI's AI video generating model. And we got early access to it. We got to publish an exclusive early review of it. I prompted it probably 300 times. I did all kinds of stuff. I was trying everything I possibly could, messing with the features, diving around and digging
There's
in.
a Slack thread that had like 200 plus replies in it.
Yeah,
and it
'cause I
was
was
all
asking-
of us just sending you random things to
Yeah.
Do you
type
remember
in.
when Blue Sky first started and there was like the hell thread?
Yeah.
That's what that was for us in our Slack. It was just one Slack thread of like hundreds of videos.
Yeah. I was messing with it and I just put in the Slack like, hey, if anybody wants a video from Sora or wants to like try something, just let me know.
And Mariah's
then
keyboard started smoking. It's just
we were prompting like crazy. And we learned a lot of things about it that it's, we got the hand selected videos before that OpenAI showed us. But now we got to try our own stuff and really figure out what it's good at. You can you can make all kinds of stuff. There's obviously the parameters that you have an OpenAI, you have a ChatGPT account, and it comes with the ChatGPT Plus account, right? So if you're paying the $200 a month, this is part of it now, which is I think that's what it's called.
I think
ChatGPT
it's
Plus?
Pro for the 200, but let me make sure.
Oh, Pro Max. But anyway, yeah, we tried everything it was possibly capable of. The headline is that for the $200 a month that ChatGPT Pro subscribers are already paying, Sora is just now a part of that. It's just looped in, which I think a lot of people
Sort of. I'll just give you this first, and then we'll do it.
Okay.
So plus, you get 50 videos a month with your $20 a month like ChatGPT subscription. Up to 720p resolution, 5 seconds duration. Pro, which is the $200 a month, you get up to 500 videos.
Yep.
Unlimited relaxed videos. I have no idea what that means.
There's a little.
Oh, yeah. Relaxed mode lets you queue additional videos to be completed when the traffic is low.
Okay.
Okay. Up to 1080p, 20-second duration, and 5 concurrent generations.
Yeah.
Download without watermark. Jesus Christ. And learn more about everything. Okay. Yeah, so those are the differences.
Yeah.
So we'll just start.
So I essentially had unlimited free reign of like a maximum capable version of this. And so we're putting in our own prompts instead of just looking at what was provided from the last early look we got early in the year, which was handpicked from OpenAI. And so we got to figure out more of what it's good at, what it's bad at, and what it could actually be used for today. So watch that video. That is the best way of getting all that information. I think the TLDR is it's good at abstracts. It's good at really, really crude, like basic title slide type stuff. What it's bad at is generally physics. Now, videos have moving objects in them. That's the important part. And I think when you generate a photo, you can get increasingly good at, high resolution photorealistic images, but a video has things that have to move in different ways, and that is usually the giveaway of an AI generated video is it doesn't know how fast to move something or how to fold things on top of each other or have them like overlap in front of each other. Often things with legs moving, the legs will switch between each other. Object permanence is not really that good. Like it's not amazing at that stuff, but it's still crazy that it's making 1080p 20-second high-resolution videos. So yeah, it's been interesting to watch, and it started a lot of conversations in various departments. Number one, about like still the sources, the where is it trained? Like, how does all of this actually come together? And is it stealing from people like me who have uploaded YouTube videos? Yes, I made a prompt that just asked to see a tech reviewer sitting on a desk with a phone in front of two displays, and it had this plant on the desk. And we've called it the tech reviewer plant, like the classic tech reviewer plant.
It's not just us, but it's tech reviewers.
Yes.
So maybe not 100% our stuff.
Yeah. But I asked for a tech reviewer.
You asked for a tech reviewer to put the plant all of us use.
And
that video was just publicly available. So
my car is publicly available on the street, but you can't steal it.
Challenge accepted.
There's a lot of questions around that still. The other question is, would you even want this to be good? Like, is this a tool that we're ready to unleash upon the world in the year of 2025?
No, and the fact that you get to remove the watermark with the Pro subscription is so ridiculous.
Yeah, this was funny. I was testing this, and it was evolving right under my nose as I was testing it. The minimum resolution was 360p, and I had that in my script, and I was writing that down, and then it was suddenly 480.
Oh.
So the lowest resolution is 480 now, and you can do up to 720 with that account, but 1080 is still the max. And the lowest resolution videos take 20 seconds to generate if you make a 5-second low-res video. The highest resolution 1080p 20-second videos can take 3-4 minutes to generate. I think to some people it wasn't exactly clear that this is all in the cloud. Like your computer, it doesn't matter how fast your computer is. You can queue up 3, 4, 5 different ones all at once, and it doesn't matter. They're just happening on OpenAI servers. And it's just, there's like this little moment of thrill when it's done and you get it back and you watch the video that it made and you're like, this is crazy. This is not a real video.
It's also interesting because most of them, the first 1 second is always like impressive, and then it like devolves from there. You did the one where you uploaded the photo of me playing Ultimate Frisbee,
Right.
and it's like me catching one, and at first it's like, he caught it. Oh, he's coming down. That's kind of wait. He's rolling on the ground. Now he launched 20 feet in the
He
air.
has three legs. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a feature where you can upload a photo and then tell OpenAI to make a video out of this photo. And so the photo you upload will be the first frame of the video, and it'll start to move from there. So you can upload a video of a person like standing still, giving thumbs up, and it will make a convincing like video of somebody giving the thumbs up. But if you give it a moving object, like a person flying through the air, or even a car or a bird flying or whatever, immediately the physics go nuts, and it's typically not very accurate. It looks crazy. So we did see that in our testing as well. The one thing that I was most impressed by, I would say, is simulated drone shots. That would be my number one most impressed thing.
Yeah.
Where if you gave it a landmark or even just a terrace that you describe and ask for a drone shot of it, it can give you a high up, slow moving, high resolution landscape drone shot.
Yeah.
Everything.
You just solved the New Jersey drone mystery. It's OpenAI, knowing they gave you the exclusive look at it.
Getting real
They
drone
wanted
shots.
to get as many New Jersey landmarks as possible.
For those who aren't aware, there's been mysterious drones spotted over New
Car-sized
Jersey.
drones.
Have you? I haven't seen any of them yet.
I saw them.
You saw one.
I was the total non-believer. I was making fun of them so hard
Andrew's
for a
over at my
whole day.
desk and he's like, "Those are planes, David. What
Dude,
are you talking about?"
Because everyone's videos of them just look like planes, and they are like propellerless, like unmanned. I was making fun of everyone. I was like, "This is so stupid. Everyone's an idiot." And then I drive home and see 3 of them go right over me, like pretty low down. I'd guess like a little lower than like helicopter height. So way too low for these plane-esque things to be flying.
Did you hear it?
I didn't. I was in my car.
Plane-esque.
I don't want to call it a plane. Yeah.
You called it
No, I did. I know. I am egg on my face. I got crushed that day.
Wow.
I don't know what they are. I'm
Even
also
the FBI is still like, "Oh."
I'm not scared by any means though, because the lights are bright and on there, not trying to hide themselves from it. Something in our whatever. I don't want to go like conspiracy theorist here, but I'm not
where
worried
you
about
were.
them.
I'm where you were now. I'm like, I haven't seen them. I don't know. It seems kind of like a plane to me, but
Aliens.
okay.
Aliens for sure.
Maybe I'll see it. Anyway, yeah, so you can make drone shots. You can make drone shots with Sora.
It was OpenAI.
And it will pull that off. You can watch the video, the one with Mount Fuji, the one with El Capitan, the one with the bay. What was that called? I forgot it. This is a California landmark, but
Did you try with like
San
cities
Francisco Bridge?
by any chance?
I did one. So yeah, I did one with the Golden Gate Bridge, and it looked decent, but the cars on the bridge were going totally the wrong speed, so that was a giveaway. But the bridge looked incredibly accurate
They always drift into the other lane and just like
and like disappear.
like dissolve into each other.
Totally. The physics. Dead giveaway. The other one, I did New York City in the fog, and I had the Empire State Building poking through the clouds. And I think I showed you that one.
Yeah.
That one, the Empire State Building looked accurate. And as I panned out a little bit, I think David pointed out the Chrysler Building nearby also looked accurate. But then the rest just looked like New York City. Like I couldn't tell you what direction we were facing, but it seems to be able to do that too. So there is plenty of blowback from people who are like, this sucks. I don't want this to exist in the world. And I totally get that. Especially the fact that you can, this is another thing they added mid-testing is the download without a watermark button. That was not there when I started testing it.
Such
and
a
they added
shit
it.
move, I feel like.
Super weird. You have to have the pro
Actually
account to do
insane.
that. The fact that you can do that at all, and you're just, we're going into a year where, let's just say fake news is a thing people are talking about. It's a concern. That the fact that that's real at all is very concerning for a lot of people.
That
There's
was
a lot
one of the
articles.
first videos you sent, was like the 2 newscasters talking, and I thought it was real at first glance. I was like, oh, what
Yeah.
video clip is this? And you're like, no, this was the AI.
Dude, that clip is
They have a safety team. They have the AGI team at OpenAI. Wait, they don't?
OpenAI?
No, that was the joke. They fired all of them.
so. Here's what I'll give them credit for, and I know this is going to sound like very little to a lot of people, but I'll give them credit for this. They seem to be able to identify and refuse to do certain types of videos. So anytime anyone's likeness is involved, they won't do it. If you ask for a prompt with someone's likeness, it will modify your prompt. If you upload a photo with someone's likeness, it will refuse. If you upload a photo with someone who appears to be a minor, just by a visual identification, it will refuse. If you ask for any violent or disgusting acts, it will refuse. And generally, I mean, I haven't gotten it to do anything that I would consider objectionable in a way that would like literally making an actual fake news clip. But that clip that was early in the video that we're talking about is such a perfect representation of this, which is at first glance, it looks like a real video. And then in 2 seconds, you're going, oh, all the text is garbled. Like none of this makes any sense. And there's no audio. So it's like they're not saying anything. It's just a 2-second video of some news anchors. But it's immediately in this uncanny valley of, I know that this isn't real, but if I wasn't checking, I might not have noticed. And this is the worst it's going to be from here on out. And that's a lot to digest.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Remember when they first announced Sora and they were just, showing all these clips that they were generating? And obviously OpenAI is going to showcase its most believable clips, the ones that it's really collected to make people think, wow, this is amazing.
Yep.
Would you say that it feels like they've improved it since they first announced it, especially as a user?
It's hard to say because we didn't get to use it. So I don't know how long those videos took to generate versus now. I don't know what their prompt looked like then versus now. To me,
or if they like handpicked things behind, because we gave them prompts back then, and they gave us stuff that they said was just what it created, but we don't
know how many times they adjusted the prompt exactly. It to me, in general, seems like it's gotten marginally better at some of the basic stuff. We did see it make like 1 or 2 landscape shots before. I got to try way more landscape shots. Turns out, yeah, that's a huge highlight. It's like pretty good at those, but yeah, it's hard to see a trajectory. It's kind of just launching now.
It kind of feels like they got pressured into releasing it because Runway was getting better. Google's Imagen was coming out.
Right. So that's the thing. There are other image generators and video generators now that exist.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. This is, there's a bunch of channels that cover this, like AI tools as they come out. And Sora, if I've watched enough videos and I'm judging this correctly, seems like one of the most capable video generation models. But it is like brand new. So, yeah, TBD if there are other better ones coming out.
We should also mention that OpenAI had given early access of Sora to specific artists, and a lot of them had gotten together and leaked the model online about a week and a half ago. So that could also be another reason why OpenAI decided to release it. Like if it's already available in a Hugging Face repository. It was temporarily available, got taken down, but it's out there on the internet, and you can never completely erase something from the internet. So
yeah, they're doing this like 12 days of ship miss thing where they're announcing a bunch of new features. So this is like day 3 or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, it's launched. It's out into the world. We'll see how it goes.
See how it goes.
That's the
Famous last words.
We'll see
I
how
will
it
say,
goes.
I looked up some of the like different places on Reddit people posted our video, and it really feels like there's 2 camps of how they're reacting to this. Is like, this is terrible. It shouldn't be released into the world. It's so dangerous. And then the other half, a bunch I saw was like, this product sucks. It's censoring so many things. I can't even do this and this and this. So why would I even use it? So
Yeah,
it seems like they're striking out on both sides. But
well, if you strike out with if you are successful with one of them, you will guaranteed fail with the other because those are the polar opposite sides of the camp.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, they have to be safe as best as they can.
I'd be worried that there's no way of making the side that's like, this is dangerous. They're never going to please those people. So they're going to want to please the people that are saying you're taking away too many of our things.
Yeah, and make it very capable.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you were trying to like get it to do something questionable and it wouldn't do it. Those are restrictions that OpenAI has placed on it themselves, like with their UI, I'm assuming. It's not like an inherent thing in the model.
That's a good question. This was, as far as I can tell, because I'm just a user using the end that I've been given access to, this is a UI thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means I assume the model is capable of lots of things. It's just Sora is the UI that is restricting what it's able to do.
Yeah. I'm sure that when you put in a prompt, like the language model knows what words it does not want to work with. And so it just changes that to something else or says you shouldn't be able to do it. Because the whole thing about large language models is it relates words to each other anyway. So you probably don't have to do that much work to kind of like blacklist certain types of words. You know?
And people are going to try to break it.
Yeah.
It's only been a couple days at this point, but I guarantee someone is going to find something crazy that it can do, and then there's going to be an article, and then there's going to be an update.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what that ends up being.
All right. Speaking of AI stuff again,
Updates.
yeah, Reddit has just launched its own sort of AI chatbot in a way. It's not really a chatbot. It's more like a search engine, and a chatbot had a baby. And effectively what they're trying to do here is they're trying to stop people from Googling blah, blah, blah Reddit because then Google gets to eat up that ad revenue, and Reddit obviously wants to keep people on their site as long as
Didn't
possible.
they already make that deal with Google, though?
So they made a deal with Google where Chrome was the only browser that's able to index Reddit after August of 2024, which, in my opinion, should be the most antitrust thing that they're going after right now, because Reddit is like the number 3 website in the world or something. So anyway, what this new Reddit AI Answers engine is it is a thing called Reddit Answers. And you go on the page, and it gives you a bunch of examples where you can just ask different questions, like, what's the best vacuum cleaner? Or what should I do if I want to change my hair color to this, etc. You go on there, and it basically gives you a list of generated answers, but with direct hyperlinks to the conversations. And it doesn't say, you should do this. It says, in this thread, people say that this.
Yeah.
So Reddit, I think, okay, whether or not this is like a good, I don't love chatbots, but whether or not this is a good thing, I think Reddit went about it the right way, actually, where they're not actually saying, we, the Reddit chatbot, we, Reddit, the organization, says you should eat 5 rocks a day.
It's going to source its answers.
It sources the answers and says, but in a very direct way, and says, people in this thread say this, and then you can click that button, go to the thread, and it'll talk about all those things. Very smart from them, honestly, if they can get people to actually use the service. It is actually quite well formatted, and I think it's more like a competitor to Google than it is a chatbot.
It's not available yet, right?
I have access to it,
Can I see it?
Well, you're
or
special.
at least I did earlier. I don't think I'm.
I have a
special.
button that says keep me updated. So
Yeah,
I
mine
Oh,
says
like they
keep me
did-
Did they
updated.
take it down?
They didn't like give you access because
No, I have access to it right now.
No, I mean, is that just because you're a tech reporter though?
No, I don't know anyone at Reddit.
But they know you.
Well, they don't know my.
sometimes they just know you.
I don't know. Well, that's weird. I have access to.
Can I try real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Can I ask you guys a question? Wow, because this is something I've been thinking about lately. When you're on Reddit, when we are on Reddit, how do you determine how trustworthy a comment should be?
It's a great question.
Like when you're reading a Reddit post and someone in the comments is like, "Here is information."
Yeah.
What is your personal veracity test?
I mostly take everything with a grain of salt, and then I do Googles off of that information. It's the same way that I would use like Gemini or something like that. But it'll tell me something, and I use that to go Google other things, but I don't just believe what it says.
Right. And if they don't provide links, that's not necessarily a red flag for you.
That's a red flag.
Okay.
100%.
It helps if they provide links.
It helps. I would say the more discourse there is based on the comment that I found, like, because it's
Also
really
good.
easy to just have a comment that's upvoted that could
Yeah.
be botted. Who knows? It's a small thing. It could just be like a comment and then a bunch of people saying that's great. That also could be botted. But
Yeah.
if there's like legitimately like multiple trees of conversations coming off of it, then I at least get like a gauge of knowing that like, that's 15 or 20 people that might be part of a conversation.
Or even if it's not 100% true, there might be useful
Information
stuff
in there. Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's another really
That's
good point.
generally how I look at Reddit threads.
You guys should give me a prompt, and I'll do this.
It wouldn't do is Steve Huffman a giant loser? I guess it's too easy of a question. It's yes.
I was gonna say typically if it has a lot of upvotes, I just believe it.
Ask it.
Ask it. Should Andrew?
When is the correct application for a multi-band compressor versus a dynamic equalizer?
Okay.
Marquez, what about you? How do you determine what's true?
So, okay, yeah, context is everything. If I know enough of the context already, like if I'm in a subreddit I've been in a lot and I know the poster or I know something about this already, then it's kind of like asking AI. It's like a confirmation of what I already knew. If it's something totally new, then I'm with David. I'm taking that information and then either following the source links or going and Googling myself. Almost all the time.
Subreddit is really important. Because with SEO, having links on Reddit is really important. And there's lots of subreddits out there that are literally for people to just post links to increase SEO. So if you can get into a subreddit you know is already active, it has upvotes in that, it has comments in that, that's a good sign that it's real people talking about
Also, know how to sort. Because if you're looking for something that is like the best recommendation for something, then often the most upvoted one is a good place to look. But if you're looking for something that has not been tried before, then sorting by controversial might be better.
Yes. No, I remember in like 2012 when I first got on Reddit and I was so excited about it because I was like, this is such a good system. If people are upvoting it, it'll bubble to the top and that just means you get quality information. But there's a thing called the hive mind on Reddit, which is where if most people think a certain way, you are more likely to think that way. So I have experienced this myself before where I have gone to some sort of question and I see something that's very highly upvoted and I go to upvote it without even really reading much of it. And then I go, whoa, hold on.
Let me read this next couple. Yeah.
People want to be part of groups. And so they go to think and do the way that the general group of people thinks and does. So you really need to make sure that you're taking your time there. I just did Ellis's question in Reddit Answers. When is the correct application for a multi-band compressor versus a dynamic equalizer?
Is this one that has a definitive answer?
It has a pretty definitive answer, but I thought it would be a good one because there are things that are like absolutely true about that question, and then there are finer flavor, like taste, skill, very niche trade stuff.
Okay.
And I only wanted to ask that question also because my answer to the question I asked you guys, how do you determine? I don't have a great answer, and I thought you guys had really good things. But one hard rule that I follow on Reddit is that if someone ever begins a comment with insert occupation here, answer, you are lying. Like I have never, ever
Doctor here.
Exactly. I've never, ever read an audio thing where someone began a question, audio engineer here, or answer audio engineer here, and then gave even one correct piece of information ever. And I just feel like there's a lot of people on Reddit. I feel like actual professionals would never do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would never be like, hi, this is my job. So I worry about this bot being unable to determine the difference. But the answer you gave wasn't terrible.
Again, at least it's not just an LLM that is making up a bunch of random stuff based on a giant data set. Like at least it's taking from Reddit itself and then directly linking to everything that it says.
So I think that's an inherent strength because it's Reddit, so it's only looking at Reddit.
Yes.
So if you are Google and you're looking at the entire internet, that could be a pro sometimes, but is actually harder to sort through.
Yeah.
And if you're Gemini and you're not linking back to sources, it's almost less useful.
Yeah.
Where with Reddit, you are just looking through Reddit. So if you're going to give me an answer or even summarize it with an LLM, fine, but link me back to where you got it from because I know it's from Reddit.
Right.
Find me where you got it from.
Yes.
So it's doing that.
And again, you should take everything you read on Reddit with a giant grain of salt as well.
Yeah.
But you should also just feel that way about most of the things that you consume on the internet.
Yeah.
So.
Is the part of this that's AI just the language like you're typing into the box for the search? Because the rest of it just seems like a search engine. Like if it's
which
sourcing
Reddit
it,
notoriously
like a search engine.
basically hasn't had for its entire existence.
Yeah, so
They
it
used to
seems to
use
me like-
Google search engine for a long time and just narrowed it. The beginning of Reddit, they had a search bar. When you would search something, it would just do a Google search, but narrow it to reddit.com.
Yeah.
So,
Which is how most people use Google anyway.
I'm sorry, Adam, I cut you off.
Not most people.
No, that was it. That was my question.
Okay. Yeah. It does feel more like a search engine with some answer engine stuff in it. So
potentially helpful.
potentially interesting. I think that if they mixed this in with their search bar and they also like gave you suggested subreddits and stuff based on what you were searching, that would probably be the way for them to go.
Can you type in there, why do you have access and none of us do?
Why do I have access? Well, what if it revokes my access? Why do I have access to
Hold on.
You have access?
I mean, there's a strong possibility that like 8 months ago I signed up for early access and just don't remember. All right. Speaking of more AI stuff, again.
Remember when we used to have?
Welcome to
we
the
used
way
to
I
talk about
What did we
regular
used to talk
things.
about? We talked about like going to weddings and stuff before in the past. iOS 18.2 is officially out in its stable version. This brings things like Genmoji, yes, ChatGPT integration, image playground. So if you have been waiting to use Genmoji or ChatGPT integration, this is out. Very cool. I have an immense amount of thoughts about Genmoji that we do not have time to talk about on this podcast.
About Genmoji.
Yeah.
I have thoughts about you having thoughts about Genmoji.
What's that?
How could there be that much to...
Oh,
Because it's not an emoji; it's a sticker.
it's a sticker. Do you want my rant about this? Or
Okay,
no?
here's what I think Genmoji is.
Okay.
It's just an AI image generator who adds in the style of an emoji to the end of every image prompt.
Wait, but it doesn't come up as an emoji. It's a sticker.
So, okay.
The 1 minute. Get them on the clock.
Okay, I can probably do this in 1 minute. I can probably do this in 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, so an emoji is text, right? It's basically a pointer to this giant database that Unicode standardizes. Okay, now a Genmoji is actually what Apple labels as a sticker. Apple stickers are things that have existed in iMessage and other things in Apple for a long time, but now Genmoji are also stickers. They reduced the size of stickers to be the same size as Oh, that was not a minute, right? That wasn't a minute.
No, it wasn't.
That was
No,
30,
it wasn't.
30 seconds.
But this is still part of it.
Okay. They reduced the size of stickers to be the same size as emoji, and so Genmoji are also the size of emoji. And Apple used a special type of image generator that basically only is trained on the Apple emoji character set.
Right.
So it skews everything to look like an Apple-style emoji.
Mm-hmm.
They also introduced a new API called Dynamic Image Glyph API, which makes emoji, Genmoji, and stickers all act the same way. Previously, emoji are the only things that could be used in line with text because they are text. Now, with this new API that they're introducing, Genmoji and stickers can also be used in line with text, unless you are texting an Android phone.
Perfect.
In which case, RCS just got borked because a Genmoji, because it is trained on the Apple emoji character set, is inherently looks like an Apple emoji.
Yeah.
When you send that to an Android phone, it just appears as a giant PNG.
Yeah.
that
It's
is an
actually a
Apple-
tiny PNG. It's a horrible tiny PNG. It's bad.
Well, it's a big PNG.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've gotten it from, I guess when I did my text sample thread, it was just like a tiny little, at least I didn't click on it and zoom in. Maybe it was bigger, but it was a small PNG. It didn't look great.
I texted my sister a Genmoji of
my
a pumpkin devil, and this is how it came out on her phone.
Wow.
Just enormous,
That is
taking up the
enormous.
entire.
Okay, maybe they've changed it since then. I guess the 18.2 update is coming
Well,
out.
this is when it first came out.
Oh,
so
I
maybe
did,
it's.
when I did that video, it was like I sent it to an Android phone, and it was
But on your iPhone, was it? Because on the iPhone,
on the iPhone. It's huge.
It's
Yeah.
bigger than usual.
Yeah.
But then on the Android phone, it's even bigger
Oh, my Android phone had a tiny
with the
PNG.
black box.
With a
around
black
it.
background.
With the black background.
Well, either way, okay. Yeah, you
Anyway.
can. It's another way of hooking you into the iMessage thing.
Yeah. So, but I also think that being able to generate more images to express yourself is better. So
Net positive
there's sort of
society.
there's sort of this back and forth. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
that was a good solid 90 seconds.
Thanks.
Times 4.
Yeah.
That was not okay. That was not 6 minutes. It's not, anyway, whatever.
In the video, I'm gonna have a real timer going, and the viewer and listener will know.
Place
right
your
now.
bets. How long
Yeah.
is that timer?
Anyway, if you want to try that out, you should update your phone. You should always update your phone anyway. If you're
Thanks.
my dad, please update your phone. All right.
Update your phone, y'all. Well, I think that's it for this week. We talked about everything and then everything in between. There's only one thing left to do.
What?
Trivia. 2025, that pause is going to get longer and longer until the last
Perfect.
episode is going to be a 2-minute pause.
A 1 year pause.
Get it? If you can get it like 2
Where's the
minutes
pens?
long, we can just put an
all
ad
of the
break in
pens
there.
work?
Yeah, exactly.
Question number 1. You can now get a Hyundai on Amazon, or soon can get a Hyundai. Now? Right?
Now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
I know what I'm doing after work today. But This is not the first time really expensive stuff has ever been sold on Amazon. So I'm going to lead you 3 Amazon listings that are real. They are links you can visit right now. And you have to tell me which one is the most expensive. Hit it, Adam. Number 1, quick, simple, easy, SEQ, fully equipped, double-story, 2 bedrooms, prefab, expandable container house, 40 feet by 20 feet, luxury home, stairs included, free bed set with terrace. Listing number 2. Queen Victoria, Banco de Londres y Mexico, 1,000 pesos, 1905, dated stock certificate with dividend coupons attached, uncanceled. I don't know what uncanceled means. The Way of Bashkir artist expressionist Gafur Tamiryanov. Which is the most pricey? And I think for this one, I'm going to have all 3 of you read your answers, and then I'm going to tell you the prices. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Flip. All right. Who would like to read
Dang,
first?
we all put different answers.
That's
No,
exciting.
both put the same.
Oh.
So I put the fake money.
No, it's real
The
money.
real money,
It's
the
real
old-
money. It's just old.
I think the old money costs a lot of new money.
You know how much that's depreciated by now?
Or
But they
Or appreciated it. Like,
Inflation.
Yeah, I put that.
yeah, but it's really old.
So
I
right, so-
also put the peso.
Peso.
I put the way.
All right, everybody. The house. The quick, simple 2-story prefab house
With stairs.
with stairs included. $44,200.
The Hyundai costs more than that.
That's
1 star.
The
only
pesos.
Hyundai.
The pesos.
Cheap ones are 23.
$250,000.
Is there only one quantity available or
What do you mean? Like, is there only one in existence?
You get all.
available on Amazon?
Can you buy 3 or something?
Yeah, well, because like the house, there's probably multiples of those available.
Well,
Yeah, how many are in stock?
somehow this listing has 11 ratings.
And does it
So-
have a quantity?
Yeah, 3
select?
left in stock.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You weren't joking. Okay.
Wow. Our painting, The Way by Gafur Tamiryanov, goes on Amazon. There's a buy now button for $32 million, giving
God.
David
Let's go.
the point.
Closest that going
Buy
over.
it now. So you can just click that.
Do not click it.
Wait a minute.
The buy now. I need the.
a dash button for that painting.
It is
Crazy.
not a Prime item, so you will have to wait till after Christmas to receive it.
Oh no!
Such a
There,
bummer.
Just
there
shows
goes my
up with-
stocking stuffer.
Just shows up with USPS.
Also, just a quick side note. A few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, Adam switched back to iPhone, and he texted me like at night, like, "Hey," just to be like, "It's a blue bubble," and I was like, "Oh my god, you're back! Like, I can finally send you." And so I was doing all the like inline message animations and sending him all sorts of stuff, and I was like, "And I could finally do this too." And I sent him like the Venmo widget request for $100,000.
You can send
Anyway,
Apple Cash.
Adam.
Thankfully, I did not click it. Okay. Quick update on the score. Marquez with 1. Andrew,
0.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Another 1.
back.
With the 0. David with 2.
It's so over.
Oh man.
So, next question. Speaking about the Apple Watch edition was gold plated? I think it was just gold plated, right?
I don't know.
I don't know, whatever. It was ranging in price from $10,000 for the base model to what? How much? And closest without going over. Let's make it interesting.
They probably have the same amount of gold. So they're probably not that different in price. It's probably like 10,200.
I do think that the differentiator between this model was like a special band, like a leather clasp with gold or whatever.
Okay.
But how much was that entire
I honestly don't know if I'm way too high over or way too low under.
Same.
Exactly what Johnny I've wanted. Flip him and read. What do you got?
I think you might. Okay, I think you might be close.
Over.
I originally thought it was 120 grand, but I put $28,001.
Nope.
I bet $20,000.
Nope.
I put $80,000.
Nope. All way over. It was $17,000.
Watch, so
was I
we found a way for no one to get the point.
So it probably came with like an Hermes band or something.
something
nobody
like
gets
that,
the
yeah.
point. Wow, that's a
Did it come with an Hermes band?
I don't know.
probably?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Sounds like it.
Cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, there goes my chance to catch David.
I got really excited when you made David answer
episode 2.
second. I was like, I nailed it.
80 grand, baby. Okay, well, that was a lot. That was a fun episode. It was all real, I promise. Nothing was ad generated this week.
But next
Or last
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you haven't seen the videos that we talked about, they will be linked below. Sora review, smartphone awards, all sorts of other fun stuff. But until next week, see you later.
Bye.
Waveform was produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Riven. We're partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network. Get our outro music was created by Vane Sil.
Bingo.
Good
Second.
save.
Can I sort all items on Amazon by price?